Hey guys, Gizmodic here, and today we're going to do a detailed PUBG review on the Galaxy A50S. So the Galaxy A50S is actually an incremental update over the A50. You've got the new Exynos 9611 chipset. It's not very different from the A50, but still it's a minor change. So today we're going to do a detailed PUBG review. We're going to check everything. We'll check the FPS, the battery drain. We'll play the game at different settings, and I'll also give you a temperature check by the end of this video. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. And if you guys don't want to miss out such videos in the future, make sure you hit the bell icon and you press the subscribe button. And if you have the Galaxy A50 or the A50S, do check out the sponsor glazeding.com. These guys have curved tempered glasses for majority of the new smartphones, and they even have UV glasses for premium phones like the OnePlus 7 Pro or the Samsung Galaxy Note series. So do check their website out. They're one of the only ones to sell proper curved tempered glasses, and you can use the promo code GIZMO to save 10% discount. On that note, we'll get started with the video. So the Galaxy A50S, like the Galaxy A50, supports extreme frame rate on smooth settings. So that's basically up to 60 FPS, and you can actually go up to HD and HDR, and you can have up to Ultra, so 40 FPS. But we're gonna start the gameplay off with smooth and extreme settings. As you can see the gameplay right now, I am not doing any screen recording. Whatever footage you see of on camera, that is not being done with screen recording on. I've done screen recording, but those clips are separate, and I'll let you know when the screen recording was on. So don't worry that we are getting low FPS because of screen recording or something like that. Screen recording is actually off. And I'm using these PUBG triggers, so if you guys want to buy that, I'll drop a link to that in the video's description. So coming to the gameplay, actually, I was kind of disappointed with the A50S's performance. If you see that whenever I'm playing the game, the FPS is majorly in the 40s and sometimes even in the 30s. Initially my ping was around 100 to 150, so I thought that is the reason why the FPS are in 30s and 40s and not in the 50s, but actually that's not the case. After like 10-15 minutes of playing the game, my ping was perfectly fine. It was in 2 digits, like 20 or 40 milliseconds, and even then the FPS was majorly in 40s, and actually it was in the 30s for a majority of the part. So when a lot of things are going around in the game, the frame rate does drop to the 30s, and I was kind of disappointed with this performance. Even in Evo Ground, the performance was equally bad. I could see the frame rate majorly in the 40s, and sometimes it used to even drop in the 30s. And Evo Ground is normally a place where we don't see a lot of frame rate drops. But even then, I could see this low frame rate on the Galaxy A50, and I wasn't really happy with it. Usually when you're playing a squad game, it normally stays in the 40s, so you can expect like 45-ish FPS on an average when a lot of things are not going around in the game. But when you do a hot drop or when you land in an area where there's a lot of fighting going on, it will go to the 30s. Similar is the case when you're driving in a vehicle in the game. It will once again go to the mid 30s, and it is not that high. It will not stay above 50 for the majority of the time, so don't keep your expectations high. So now I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the gameplay on the smooth and the extreme. After 45 minutes of playing on Smooth+Extreme settings, I switched to HD plus Ultra, and here you get a maximum FPS of 40 FPS. And here, as you can see, the FPS was barely around 30s, and it went into the 20s when I was doing a hot drop or something. Majority of the time it stayed between 27 to 35, so that's not something to be happy about, because normally phones which support Ultra, they stay between 35 to 40. But the A50S, I don't know why, for some reason stays in the lower 30s or the higher 20s. And then if you want to move on to HDR, I would personally not recommend you to play the game at HDR and Ultra, because the gameplay was super bad and it was barely making into the 30s. So HDR is definitely out of question. Even HD and Ultra I wouldn't recommend. If you want the best gameplay, just stick to Smooth and Extreme. But then even here, it's not gonna be a 60 FPS gameplay. So overall, I was kind of let down by the gaming performance of the Galaxy A50s. If I remember correctly, when I reviewed the Galaxy A50, the frame rate was almost in the 50s for the majority of the part, and the worst case was in the lower 40s. But as we can see here, it majorly stays in the lower 40s, and in the best cases, only in some rare moments, it will go above 50. So I was definitely not happy with the gaming performance here. And if you guys have the Galaxy A50, please let me know how is it performing right now after the updates, because I tested the A50 like 3-4 months back. So I don't know if the gaming performance on the A50 now is equally bad as on the A50s. But yeah, this phone is definitely not gonna be my pick for PUBG if you're planning to buy a phone between 20 to 25,000. I think the Redmi K20 performs much better, even though that phone only goes up to Smooth plus Ultra. So yeah, I don't think the Galaxy A50s is a good choice for PUBG. If I talk about some other things like the temperature, this phone didn't heat up that much. I think the maximum temperature I recorded was around 42 degrees. I don't remember right now. I'll show you a clip which shows the maximum temperature that I recorded, and there is no overheating or throttling problem on the A50s. Also, the battery drain was not that much on the Galaxy A50. The phone dropped 29% of battery in 1.5 hours. So that's basically 20% in 1 hour, which is not that big of a deal. So battery drain is not a problem, and the phone doesn't overheat as well. But if you're a pro player and if you're someone who are really looking to buy a phone for PUBG performance, the A50s is something you should not look at. I don't know why, but the gaming performance is actually super bad, as we saw, and there are frequent frame drops and stutters which I didn't like. So don't buy the Galaxy A50s if you want to buy a phone that plays PUBG very well. You can either go with the Poco F1 or maybe the Redmi K20, or you can extend your budget a bit and go for the K20 Pro, and that phone is gonna give you best PUBG performance. So yeah, A50s gets a thumbs down from my end in terms of PUBG, but I will be making a lot of other videos about this phone. I do have a camera comparison coming up as well as a full review, so I'll let you know in that video if the A50s overall is worth buying or not. This was my PUBG review of the A50s. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it, and if you guys have any feedback or any questions, then do let me know in the comments. You can also follow my Facebook, Twitter and Instagram page for some behind the scenes content. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna be back in your notifications very soon. Peace.